Suits LA Season 1, Episode 4 is aptly titled Batman Returns because it features a series' first appearance from franchise favorite Harvey Specter, but we can't discount the vigilante justice meted out by guest star Enrico Colantoni. Granted, his justice comes in the form of carving genitalia into a neighbor's hedge, but it was for the righteous cause of jealousy over streaming fame nevertheless. The fictional version of Colantoni shares very little in common with his counterpart in life, apart from a stellar filmography and a wicked sense of humor, but the actor had a fabulous time recreating himself. While Ted Black, Stephen Amell, spent this episode of Suits LA dealing with the multi-episode arc of a big-shot Hollywood murder accused of killing his partner, Black's ex-partner Stuart Lane, Josh McDermott, and right-hand man Rick Dodson, Brian Greenberg, took on Enrico as a client. After a humiliating prank call that sent Colantoni to the precinct looking for an Officer McCracken, the Galaxy Quest star sought some old-fashioned vengeance via gardening. Despite his very obvious guilt, and Stuart's appalling bedside manner, the lawyerly duo managed to get the charges dropped and opened the door for a future collaboration with Colantoni. Screen Rant interviewed Colantoni about his role in Suits LA Episode 4, and why he wasn't exactly the biggest fan of the franchise when the original series aired. The actor, who has previously shined as Keith Mars in Veronica Mars and is currently playing a major part in the popular English teacher, also explained why he finds network television so appealing. Finally, he shared the real-life beef he considers worthy of a vendetta, and no one has ever been more right. Enrico Colantoni had a score to settle with Suits before guest starring on Suits LA. Why is everybody talking about this other show? Enrico Colantoni: I was living in Toronto at the time, and we were filming Flashpoint. There was a part of me that was like, why is everybody talking about this other show? We're the show. Every time we would share locations, they would have their trailers next to ours, so I had this built-in resentment for it. Aaron, Korsh, doesn't know that, and I love Bonnie Zane, who cast it the whole time. She brought me in a couple of times, and they never ultimately hired me. So, no, I was not a fan of this show. Laughs, Enrico Colantoni: guilty. Aaron and I knew each other from Just Shoot Me, so there's a little history there. I know he's got a funny bone, and we had talked about other things over the years, but I wasn't sure how far I could go until I was on set and could hear him laughing off camera. Then I go, okay, this feels like anything goes, Aaron's happy, he's laughing, and if he doesn't like it, he can cut it. When you feel like it can be ridiculous and silly and sucky and babyish, it's like you can just live it. I could play myself like that until I die because it's a part of me that I don't get to play. I don't get to be the troublesome actor, I'm a respectful guy. I was brought up Catholic, but deep down, do I want to blow ST up? Just to see people's reactions, not out of any malice, but just to see, can I get away with that? And that's who I got to play, Enrico Colantoni. Well, dynamics tend to be based on how generous the actors are, and they were both just incredibly generous. Brian Greenberg and I did that first scene together on day one, and he was just so lovely and patient with me as I bounced off the walls. He's playing that kind of straight man character, so it was lovely. Josh, on the other hand, was a little more antagonistic on screen, but completely generous off camera. He created a very tight safety net to play and feel safe. I'm telling you, if I can work with those two knuckleheads again, I would do it in a second. They were just delightful, just wonderful in the way they played off of each other. Brian's just trying to maintain his cool while Josh is flying off the handle, and it's just so awesome and hysterical. Enrico Colantoni: I don't know. I'm sure they're all hoping that the show comes back for 12 seasons before they consider whether Enrico Colantoni comes back. But everything being aligned, I would say yes in a second. I would say yes in a second, as long as it's in that context of fun and ridiculousness. It was just so much fun.